Roca News. Inside America's most segregated city, Milwaukee. Let's see if these lefties use the word segregation correctly. Let's see if they use it correctly and intellectually honestly in context. I imagine that they're not going to. This is going to be good. Let's get into this.
Ed Henning's life was over before he knew it.
I decided to get into the street gang. Was it going to result in any type of death or shootings? I just wanted some money.
Ed's story says a lot about his city, Milwaukee, the most segregated city in America. That nickname came from a Brookings Institution study that found people in Milwaukee are less likely to live among people of a different race than in any other city. The West and East are white, the South is Hispanic, and the North is black, including North Milwaukee, the city's poorest and most violent hood.
I was growing up.
So yeah, just a quick pause there. So basically they've already started in like, okay, white people choose to not live around non-whites, and that's segregation. No, there's zero segregation in the United States of America. I don't know why lefties are so clinging to this fucking narrative. This is like by the way, like local lefties in Milwaukee, this is their favorite fucking talking point. Milwaukee is the most racially segregated city in the United States of America. No, it's fucking, there's zero. What are they talking about? What are you talking about? Because people voluntarily choose to not live around non-whites, to the best of their ability, by the way. It's prohibitively expensive to try to move away from these people because it's so in demand. I mean, especially after the 2020 riots and the crime going up and everything, it's so in demand to live in desirable majority white areas. It's so expensive compared to, I mean, everybody knows that housing doubled in the past like 4 years. If only there was segregation in Milwaukee. If only it was easy to avoid these people. Because if you look at the Lower East Side, for instance, I'm going on a tangent here, but if you look at the Lower East Side, like the Brady Street area, it looks like a freaking chimpanzee exhibit just got emptied out on the street. I'll put a link to a video in description of a video I took of a Friday night on Brady Street, and you'll see what I mean. But I've digressed too much. Let's go.
Like you said, segregated. North side over here where I'm at was basically predominantly black people. On the south side, it was predominantly Latino people. Everywhere else was white. So we was kind of confined to a prison within a city.
The mainstream media...
Yeah, I mean, all these Latinos and whites and don't want to live around, hookah shops? I mean, and dilapidated, boarded up houses. And again, yeah, baked into that premise is the notion that there's something wrong with people in general wanting to live around their own people. But no, let's be honest, specifically white people wanted to live around white people. Like, that's what's baked into this premise.
Says the segregation and plight of places like North Milwaukee are a function of redlining and racism.
Redlining, dude. How long ago was fucking redlining? What is that, like, so-called discriminatory lending practices? Of course, it has nothing to do with certain groups having shittier credit or anything like that. I mean, come on, dude. Redlining? So redlining, therefore, black men have to commit a disproportionate amount of crime, and it drives the productive white people out. And that's an injustice because reasons. This is in left-wing Milwaukee, and I'm sure that every left-wing city, this is like their favorite fucking talking point around here. Well, redlining, segregation, gentrification. I'll bet you $10 that the word gentrification will be mentioned at least once in this video. We'll see.
To hear what locals thought and heard a totally different perspective.
But coming out of this community, you have to be Michael Jordan to get out.
How do we get in the house of families and tell them to be a family again?
Yeah, man, we lit, folks. Come to Milwaukee on my daddy. Just be in the right spot so you can get your ass dropped on my daddy.
Right, dude. It's a grave injustice if you don't want to live around that. Dude just said you want to get dropped, or what did he say? You gonna get dropped? And then the other dude said that, like, Freeway Ricky Ross acting dude or whatever. He said that you gotta fucking be Michael Jordan to get out of here. Well, why should you want to get out of there? I mean, it's your people. It's your fucking community. You should want to build up your own community. I mean, dude, look at these weeds. That's another thing that I've noticed about the hood. There's always like weeds everywhere. They don't take care of the freaking lawn, you know? Dude, look at this. These lawns have never been mowed, bro. It's like giant foliage of weeds everywhere. Like, it's a fire hazard, too. I'm sure the fire department has a fucking field day with that, dude. You know, there's all kinds of things that have nothing to do with gentrification or redlining, dude. Like, you can't bust out a fucking lawnmower and make your fucking yard look nice. The fuck?
North Milwaukee wasn't always like this. In fact, it was once a boom town with its factories and breweries drawing thousands of workers into the area. Today, the jobs are gone. Boarded up buildings are everywhere.
Right now you are in the inner city of Milwaukee. The community where I grew up in, this was once a community that had the manufacturing industries. A lot of manufacturing industries raised the people that was born and raised here. But in the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of those manufacturing industries left. And it left this part of the city with nothing to replace it.
Back there was an abandoned factory or a rundown factory.
Look at these soyed out wankers, dude. So manufacturing left. So I be joining gangs and shooting motherfuckers. Y'all gonna get dropped and shit. But yeah, dude, this is white people's fault. They haven't used the word gentrification yet, and we're like a fifth of the way through the video almost. But we'll see. That's probably gonna happen. I knew I had a feeling they were gonna use the word redlining. And make excuses for blacks and say and basically infer that they have no agency whatsoever, which, you know, if you take a glance at MRI brain scans and IQ tests, or just look at any honest person's assessment of their anecdotal experience of sub-Saharans, I mean, the reasoning for why pretty much every black area looks like this, no matter where you look, it comes in a lot clearer. Okay. Dude, I mean, Mr. Beast has to go over to Africa and build them their fucking water pumps for them. You know, it's just, what the fuck?
Factory over here looks like another factory.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is where a lot of people worked, right? In the community, they worked around here?
It's redlining.
And, you know, you didn't have to travel far.
Yeah.
You know, you went right to work, and people had boats, they had motorcycles, you know, in addition to their regular everyday vehicles. No, it was some prosperity, man. Chicago, the big city, 90 miles away. A lot of Chicago people came up here to hang out on the weekends because Milwaukee was just that good in the 60s and 70s. This is why the great migration of the 60s happened from the South. A lot of African-American people from the South moved to Milwaukee and Midwestern cities because of the manufacturing boom. And then that's what gave them a better quality of life from the South.
From the South, man. Yeah, the Great Migration, man. So that's why areas like Brady Street are turning ghetto. Dude, I mean, they give so much preferential treatment in hiring to non-whites. It's ridiculous. Like, what are any of these gripes, dude? Manufacturing left and shit. That's why you gonna get dropped. Okay, but I swear to God, dude, the other night I saw an on-duty black security guard smoking a blunt just while in uniform. He was just fucking standing outside of the site, outside of the Walgreens on Brady, the legendary Brady Street Walgreens. I see this fucking black security guard just raging a fucking fatty right out in the open, on the clock, in his uniform, just brazenly violating company policy, no doubt. Not that such a thing would ever be enforced. Because, again, they get treated with kid gloves. They get treated as if they have lower agency, which they do. But we're just supposed to pretend. We're supposed to pretend that this is fucking white people's fault. Or Trump's or Elon Musk's fault. Like, what is that?
And then it left.
One result of the situation is crime. The city's homicide rate is the 13th highest in the nation, and we heard gunshots while walking outside. Ed can explain why better than almost anyone else. But what do you look at here and think this is a segregated community? This is a less prosperous community than elsewhere. What are the kind of the signs that you see?
Everything, really. There's so many things I could start with. Let's just go with these gas stations. You see the youngsters hanging out, sitting at the gas station, just hanging out. When you go to the suburban communities, you might not see this. You might see a swimming pool. You might see a park with some nice basketball courts.
Oh, this, dude, we're gonna hear every single fucking trope. Oh, they don't have parks. They don't have parks and rec. Yes, they do. They just fucking trash it. Yes, they fucking do. What are you talking? What the dude? And these, of course, these soyed out wankers in the car are not gonna correct him because they're only here to promote the line. They're just troopers, you know. They're true believers. Well, you know, redlining and, you know, so, hey, did you hear that, you know, some black guy shot the gas station clerk and that's why they had to shut their place down? Well, you know, redlining and gentrification, you know. Redlining, you know. Redlining, of course. Yeah, that's why.
You know, you're going to see access to different opportunities in the suburban community where the access in this community is slim. 90% of the time, somebody gonna get shot on a nightly basis. Once again, poverty. My uncle, who had an altercation and beef, what we call it, in the neighborhood with some guys. I intervened in the beef, which happens every day in the hood, which happens every day in the streets. You always squashing arguments. You always diffusing these type of things, but I went in to diffuse it, and by then I'm carrying guns now, all of these type of things, and the argument it escalated, and I ended up shooting a guy. He died, and I was facing my life in prison. And not once did I think, when I decided to get into the street gang, was it going to result in any type of death or shootings. I just wanted some money.
Ed was charged with first-degree homicide, which...
Most Def got charged with first-degree homicide. Def. In the streets. He said, he used the word diffuse. I don't think certain people know what words mean. Certain people of the 65 IQ variety, he said diffuse the situation. Well, diffuse the situation would mean like talking it down. You know? Diffuse, de-escalate. That's what that would mean. Be more diplomatic. And he said, what did he say? Opportunities are slim. We already have the fucking data on this, dude. Okay, so like low-income whites still commit a lower per capita rate of violent crime than medium to high-income blacks. We already have the fucking data in. It's already in. We already have it. But people still lie. They still entertain these fucking sob stories, dude. Man. Well, what is the solution, you might be asking? Well, it's obvious. I mean, a higher percentage of these people need to go to jail for longer, and there need to be more deportations. Honestly, the conservatives in the audience aren't going to like this. There needs to be way the fuck more abortions, like 10 to 100 times as much abortions. I'm actually tempted to do a tax-deductible donation to Planned Parenthood to get that rolling, because... holy shit. Also, take away affirmative action, take away their welfare. Another conversation that's going to be uncomfortable for conservatives to have is, well, because they harp on that all the time. Just take away the welfare, take away the affirmative action. Thing is you do that, the blacks will experience widespread famine. They will experience widespread famine, and they will engage in 10 to 100 times the amount of violent crime and rioting. And the problem there, of course, is that I don't think we have either A, the political will to do any of that, but we also wouldn't have the political will or the manpower to quell such an uprising, like, you know, quote unquote uprising. We might just be completely fucked as a society. It's enough to black pill or clown pill, depending on the day, but whatever.
Carries life imprisonment.
That would be the solution.
But then came the conviction.
Instead of life in prison, I was sentenced to 40 years.
Damn!
But
40 years.
40 years in prison. I served 20 of the 40. But my perspective was, the day I got the 40 years was, I got another chance. That didn't mean my chance came that day or without any work, but I had a chance.
If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. We release 2 mini docs a week. Subscribe so you don't miss them.
I took barber and cosmetology while I was in prison. I took auto detailing when I was in prison. I took culinary class. I did everything that was available to me to better myself. Reading books, challenging myself. That's one thing that I tell people a lot is, don't run from challenges, Jump in there. Challenge yourself.
All right.
So many people get out of jail, they go back to jail, right?
Yeah,
and they say that the system doesn't work. It doesn't rehabilitate people.
Yeah.
But it worked for you, would you say?
The system didn't work for me. I took it upon myself.
Henning's sentence was eventually reduced to 20 years, and in 2016,
okay, so he has agency sometimes, but not others. Okay. It's the system other times, and then it's personal agency other times. It's just whatever, man. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of left-wing extremists in town that want to ban cops and ban prisons and stuff. They talk about prisons like they're fucking medieval dungeons. But I mean, this guy talked about how he got to take a bunch of classes, get probably degrees and credits and stuff like, whatever, like, apprenticeships, what did he say? Like culinary classes, the ability to get a job, essentially. But again, we already give preferential treatment in hiring and on-site treatment of the nons. We already give, as a society, tons of DEI special treatment to these people that is just so not warranted. And it's resulting in a lower quality of life across the board, dude. And that's another thing that conservatives don't want to admit as to why. I mean, they think that if you pick somebody in general based on the, quote, color of their skin, that lowers things. But it's really who you're picking, let's be honest. It's the demographics themselves that you're picking. And all you need to do is just look at, again, dude, every shot shows weeds. Look at like, every shot they have, every stationary shot will show just an unkempt yard full of fucking weeds. Fire hazard to the extreme, dude. So wait, did he write a book too? Oh, he wrote books. Wow.
16, he walked
Maybe Soyberg Sheckelstein wrote it for him.
free. After a year of working, he opened a barbershop.
Started a barbershop, did that, started the trucking business, did that, started the work group business. All because I'm taking on these challenges.
Okay,
and it's been routine for 28 years now. It's just who I am.
Despite Henning's turnaround, he says it's absurd to think most people can do the same.
The mountain is so high. From the outside looking in, you can say, why you didn't climb that mountain? And I'm gonna say, okay, well, let me put you in front of that mountain. And let me see if you could have climbed it. That's like somebody that plays in the NBA. And you say, why you not Michael Jordan? Everybody's not gonna be Michael Jordan. But coming out of this community, you have to be Michael Jordan to get out.
So we've heard that a couple of times. So they have to replay the same clip, but yeah. Yeah, they think that like getting a security guard job where you could stand out in front raging blunts on the clock, they think that's the same thing as becoming Michael Jordan. Wow, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. Holy crap, man. I mean, I'm nonplussed. Like, that we've allowed these lies to persist for so long. The reality is, like I said, a way higher percentage of their population needs to be in jail for a lot longer. We don't have the death penalty in Wisconsin, but yeah, we probably should for some of the more extreme offenders. Planned Parenthood is based. Mass deportations are based. Trump is not doing mass deportations, by the way. I regret to inform you. He's not. But yeah, all those things. Yeah, take away the bennies, the benefits, be prepared for mass starvation, mass famine in this community. Be prepared for 10 to 100x the crime. But I mean, that's what it is, dude. Those would be the solutions. I wonder. Sound off in the comments if you think that there's actual like will to make that happen in our current society. I just don't. If these people think that it's fucking Michael Jordan to go get a freaking fry cook job, I mean, I've seen, like I've said, I've seen formerly white areas. They talk about Milwaukee as the most segregated city, dude. It's not. Even by their stupid definition. Like, their definition of, like, white people voluntarily not living around non-white people. Like, that's redefined as segregation. It's not. Oh, what is a stupid notification? Sorry. It's not. I mean, segregation is, the actual definition of segregation is like the government says, okay, this area is this group and this area is that group. It's not like a formerly like Polish and German area like the North Side. I mean, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, Polish and German immigrants built this fucking neighborhood And then he said the Great Migration from the South in the 60s through 80s made it a lot more black. The Polish and German immigrants probably noticed, like, oh, okay, these people are bringing with them crime. They're not mowing the lawn. It's a bunch of fucking weeds. It's dilapidated houses. And they packed up and they moved to the North Shore suburbs. They packed up, they moved to Waukesha County. They packed up and they moved to Washington County, etc., etc., etc. That's what happened. But again, like, white people building an area and then moving away from the black crime, that's recharacterized as segregation. Or white flight, or gentrification, or whatever. Oh, they still haven't, we're like over halfway through the video and they still haven't said the word gentrification, I don't think. So I might owe somebody $10.
Just an interview.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah. It's called Roca News, ROCA News. Yo, what should people know about Milwaukee?
Shit, we lit, you know what I'm saying? We up next to. Shit's really shaking, you know what I'm saying? And there's love here too, you gotta just be out the way low. Yeah, man, we lit, folks. Come to Milwaukee on my daddy. Just be in the right spot so you can get your ass dropped on my daddy. Love y'all.
Yeah, so there you go, man.
Right
It's
spot.
like this. The question was about.
A short drive away, Tanetta Jackson, an
Shit. This soyed out wanker thought he was about to get dropped, as per what Laquandrolo just said. Why does he look like this on a job like that, man? Or at all? And who is this Nubian quiet right here, right now? Damn.
activist, echoed Ed's sentiment and traced the neighborhood's decline to the loss of manufacturing jobs.
Hundreds of people are losing their jobs, so what do? They resort to, I'm going to get it any way I can.
Tanetta also blamed the decline of families.
And here's the other decline. Single parent homes, and a parent has to work 2 jobs to pay the rent and put food on the table. So if you have that, who's watching the children?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, I already said this, but that obviously affects white people too. I think this is a common talking point on the right and the left, but they just come at it from a similarly disingenuous tact. I mean, the conservative boomer right will say, Democrats are the real racists. They caused the fatherless households with welfare policies and all this. And then, someone like this person will say, well, white people in general did it or whatever. Like, manufacturing leaving did that. So what else are you going to do? Again, I already said it. Like, low-income whites are still committing a lower rate of crime than high-income blacks. So it's not poverty. We all know that it's not fucking poverty. What kind of fucking excuse is that, dude? Honestly, like, we're poor, so therefore we have to jack cars and shoot people. Aren't they embarrassed appearing on camera saying that? You'd think, it's just like low IQ to say that on camera and then lack the self-awareness, the wherewithal to feel embarrassed about it. Like, obviously they don't feel any shame about basically admitting that they're stupid and primitive. Like, they have to commit violent crime because they're poor. That's what they're saying. That's fucking nuts.
You could tell a woman that had their father in their life when you hold a conversation with them, and a woman that didn't grow up with a father in their life. Young boys too.
Dude, the white fatherless rate is like 40%. The black fatherless rate, I believe, is 70%. Again, common talking point amongst conservatives and shit libs alike. Fatherless household rate, that is in between the left talking about how they like tranny families or like gay dad families, like 2 gay dads or what have you, or bullshit like that. I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought here. Tangents.
If your father was in your life, you wouldn't do or say certain things.
A group outside said the same thing. Broken families and a lack of jobs have destroyed North Milwaukee.
All our parents that raised us gone.
Yeah.
So we raising our kids, and our kids is raising kids. They not adult shit to be raising kids. They kids raising kids. They got 16, 15, and 14s out now,
right,
raising these kids. And
right,
by the time they reach 20 or 25, their kids just not turning 10, 12, And it's like, Okay, you tell a kid that if you ain't have morals in yourself from your own family.
People
Right,
don't have
that
like
too.
a lack of labor skills. Like you don't have like in the communities, you don't have carpenters, you don't have enough welders, you don't have enough.
There's programs out there for them.
But it said
But everybody don't have an education for the programs.
People not exposed to it.
They the age to probably do the program, but
So the education so is this another left-wing trope, like we're not this alternate reality where we're somehow not funding black people's education, like we're not giving enough money to the teachers. We spend like tens of thousands of dollars per pupil per year in Milwaukee public schools. So it's not that. And okay, back to the 40% to 70% fatherless rate. You know, what is the arbitrary fatherless household rate that causes people to do a bunch of crime? Because I guess it's not 40% because that's the white numbers. Why aren't they committing anywhere near the same amount of crime as intact black families, for that matter? You know, the Carmelo Anthonys of the world and shit like that, or the Juicy Smolets, for that matter. Jesus Christ, man.
education is not there.
Do you have to have that? Because there's
have a high
some
school diploma
apprenticeship.
or a GED.
Okay. Even
You
for the
could have a high school
apprenticeships?
diploma or a GED.
Even for the apprenticeships?
Yeah,
Oh,
GED at
really?
least for the apprenticeship.
Okay.
How'd you become a welder?
While I was living in Jacksonville, Florida, so there's a lot of blue-collar people down there, and I had learned to trade because I realized, like, in order to make great money and make a living for yourself, you gotta have like a real good skill, good skill set, because they say skills pay the bills. I think like the youth, they need blue-collar skills. They need to get exposure to that more than free stuff. Because when they get exposed to like trades, that can change the whole like dynamics in the community. So we don't have a lot of
We don't have that anymore.
blue-collar skills. So that's the decline of people.
Yeah.
Now, everyone we spoke to in
Bro, I mean, there's jobs that you can get where you're literally just sitting on your ass. Like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, dude. You can get a job where you're getting paid like 20 to 30, whatever, an hour, sitting on your ass. And like I said, they give blacks preferential treatment in hiring, and they have since the 60s. It's not poverty. It's really not. It's fucking not. It's not poverty that the left would say, and some conservatives on the right would say, and it's not fatherless households or welfare. It's them. They're the common denominator in the situation. What is this white guilt person going to say? I think this looks like the Summerfest grounds. Is this at Summerfest? Like, they're bothering this white chick at Summerfest. What is she going to say?
Milwaukee told us we needed to understand one thing: landlords.
Because I work in real estate, I will say the rent keeps going up because landlords think that, because inflation goes up or cost of living goes up, that they can raise their rent 3 to 5%. But at the end of the day, the homes are not being taken care of because the renters are not being taken care of, and the renters are not taking care of the house because they're not being taken care of. And at the end of the day, like, investors are just making more and more money on these people who can't afford their homes.
So they end up paying more for less.
Yep.
Because North Milwaukee
No doubt,
has become
but-
so blighted, real estate is dirt cheap. Wealthy investors are snapping up these properties, sometimes buying dozens or hundreds of homes. No one is more known for this than Yusuf Joe Barada.
The guy from Morocco that bought everything, Barada, when he bought everything like that, he buy everything that he can monopolize and control the rent.
Right.
And so everybody else can raise that rent too.
Who owns some 9,000 apartment units in Wisconsin and famously evicted 800 people in a single day.
The letter said the
Okay, so they need a boogeyman. Okay, so I guess for the north side, it's Barada. On the east side, the boogeyman landlord is this guy Katz Properties. Leaving Katz. Dr. Katz. Okay, yeah, sure. Landlords are going to jack the rent up. Why doesn't that make white renters go on shooting sprees or carjacking sprees or say, you're going to get dropped or whatever that other youth just said? Why doesn't it make them do it? Why are other demographics, why are East Asians also immune to like the rent going up and then they go shoot somebody? Why are they oddly immune to this? Yeah, like it goes for the fatherless households thing too. It goes for the welfare usage thing too. Like, yes, other groups will use welfare at a lower rate, but the ones that do are still not as likely to go shoot motherfuckers or rob motherfuckers. Or like, diffuse a neighborhood beef by gunning someone down and doing 20 to 40 years in a fucking prison.
The company would file 50 evictions per week, but since January 24th, Barada has filed 850 evictions, more than 500 since February 1st.
I can't make sense of this. I don't understand this approach, and it also is completely contrary to what we were told would happen.
In a statement, and
I wonder who that is. No, but I bet this Barada guy is Section 8 slumlord, to be sure. Yeah, sure. What if I grant that he's a complete scuzzbag? Sure, fine. That doesn't really... Only dumbasses buy into this, by the way. Like, can I just say that? Like, you have to be a complete... It's not even just, like, bleeding heart liberal. That doesn't even exist, dude. These motherfuckers, like, pointed and laugh at Kirk getting shot in the throat. They're not bleeding heart. They're fucking complete psychopathic liars, bro. They're just, like, power by any means necessary kind of people. The people that promote this line... What is her fucking name? Foley? I think that's a name of the tribe, but I'm not entirely sure. Isn't that the name of the dude from Kids in the Hall? Or is that something else? Someone else? I don't know.
Contrary to what we were told would happen.
In a statement, an attorney for Barada said in part, the decision was made to process a large number of evictions with the expectation that once tenants who have no hope of satisfying significant past due rent obligations have been evicted, the number of evictions filed out of necessity will immediately and significantly drop.
Goldboy said so. You can notice a lot of things. But basically, they had problem tenants. They had problem Section 8 tenants that were destroying the properties. So if anything, like, these policies are actually anti-white, because these were formerly white Polish neighborhoods, German neighborhoods, and they didn't want to live in these, like, Section 8 dilapidated ghetto kind of environs. But, like, yeah, these people's dysfunctionality will never not be blamed on us. It's always blamed on white people. Always. It's never not blamed on us. You know, fine, you want to point a bunch of fucking fingers. You should blame it on the Oy Vey people and the Dindus. Like, that's just abundantly obvious to me.
Barada is just the most notorious example, but many smaller investors are also buying homes in North Milwaukee and renting them out to the locals. Some of these landlords are good, we heard, but many are not and are known as slumlords.
I mean, everybody got a landlord, but all landlords ain't good landlords, because there's a bunch of slump landlords. Oh, I say that, slump landlords. You know what I'm saying? But
the presence of the investors in North Milwaukee is one of the few reminders that a whole other city exists outside of the North. That city has a booming downtown, mansions lining Lake Michigan, and a festival and fairground that draws thousands of tourists from across the country constantly. With the real estate purchases, perhaps some of that wealth will enter North Milwaukee, or perhaps the most segregated city in America will only become more so.
Bro.
Thank you for watching this video. We release 2 of these a week.
Scuzzbag. Subscribe and donate. No, but actually subscribe and donate to my channel, because I'm actually telling it like it is. But let's take a look at some of the comments. We'll see if we'll get some, like, quote-unquote bleeding heart liberals spouting some bullshit. But yeah, again, like, the East Side has slumlords too. Like I said, they're the notorious one that everybody bitches about on the East Side of Milwaukee is Cats. Why isn't Cats making people fucking shoot motherfuckers and be poor and destitute and broke? Why is that? Okay. Kim Leone, 5496. Until we bring back our industries, until the silent generation and early boomers go to hell, nothing's gonna change. Till we get the money back that they stole, nothing's going to change. Till we get managed healthcare and their profits out of healthcare and pharmaceuticals, nothing will change. Ross Perot and his followers were screaming loudly, and they shut him down. Are we catching on yet? You can tell this person's old school. This person's like Gen X or Boomer. Bringing up Ross Perot and shit. Calling it segregation is a cheap excuse for being lazy. Interesting point. I didn't really use the laziness point. I don't know if they're lazy. They're just kind of... It's uncomfortable. Like, neither side wants to acknowledge the genetic reality of race. Like, nobody wants to acknowledge it, but I'll acknowledge it. It's a genetic reality. It's MRI brain scans will tell you everything, and IQ tests will tell you everything, and just an honest interaction, anecdotally, your anecdotal examples of interacting with these people. You don't even need to look at test scores, dude. Honestly, you could just look at your anecdotal experiences with nons. Albatross 232Q. People want to live with their own. Nothing wrong with that. Based as fuck. Nothing wrong with that unless it's white people doing it, am I right? Maybe if the two races didn't hate each other, things would be better. Like black and white. I think blacks dislike whites a lot more than the other way around. I think whites are bending over backwards, again, to hire them and let them have jobs, even if they're ripping blunts on the job. So, hey, Roka, can you please feature some rich black neighborhoods? I'm sure there are a couple, especially in Georgia. Yeah, and again, they'll have a disproportionate amount of crime, too. So, and there's very few, right? Very, very, very few. Those will be like more mixed. They'll just have like a higher percentage of blacks than you would expect a higher income area to have. But again, they're gonna have like a lot of Carmelo Anthony type situations. Houses in the hood look pretty good. Yeah, I mean, except for all the weeds. People don't want to reinvest in these cities because of the content of their character. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. That dude drove up and said, like, you're gonna get dropped. That's why the only people that are gonna invest in that area are gonna be like Jeets and Muhammad's. They get a fat subsidy from the government, you know, and they need like 5-inch thick bulletproof glass. And all they sell is like Hot Pockets and Cheetos and shit, you know, frozen pizzas and beer, candy and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, Panjit is gonna fucking try to capitalize on that, I guess. But that's because he doesn't know any better. The guy was sentenced to 40 years, dude. Like, why interview a guy who's been gone for that friggin' long? Of course he's gonna have a effed up mental interview someone else. Oh my god. He did bring up Michael Jordan. I'm surprised he didn't bring up Ross Perot, too. Yeah. Getting out of Milwaukee. People talk about moving a lot. Like, I guess white flighting. But, you know, like I was saying, Brady Street used to be the white area. I'm gonna link that video that I took of Brady Street on a Friday night in the description. Brady used to be a white area, and now it's like very, very, very diversified. I guess that maybe they increased Section 8 housing subsidies or something in the area. I don't know. But this Barada and I'm sure he's getting Section 8 subsidies like a motherfucker too. So, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I think I've said everything I need to say. But yeah, all these talking points are bullshit. They're like the longest running libtard talking points that I've heard. Oh, they didn't use the word gentrification, did they? They only used the term redlining. Damn. I'm salty about that. Holy shit. I thought for sure they were going to use the word gentrification because that's one of the oldest talking points that libtards like to use. You bring up crime or something, you bring up like murder, robbery, or rape, or rioting or something, and then they immediately pivot to, well, but gentrification, but redlining. It's so fucking ridiculous. But anyway, I said my piece about that. Subscribe and donate, links in description.